Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to go through and take a look at the latest batch of news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters will be listed down below for those of you that want to skip ahead to any specific topic. And the first thing that I want to talk about today is for those of you over on console. The anniversary giveaways did go live on the 9th as expected. So the 9th was 4 ship slots that you could claim in the promotions tab of the Zen store. Today is a T5 ship coupon that you can claim in the C store. Tomorrow will be an Elite Services starter pack. The 12th will be a motion picture uniform, which is the only thing that will not be in the promotions tab. Rather, the motion picture uniform will be 100% off in the uniforms tab of the Zen store. March 13th will be 2 Fleet Support DOF packs, and the 14th will be 2 Elite Bridge Officer upgrade tokens. So if you are somebody that plays on console, make sure to be logging in each day to claim these items. Each of these specific giveaways is only available for 24 hours. So if you don't get in during that 24 hours, you're just going to miss out on that specific giveaway. And next up, for those of you on console, they are continuing to release the blogs for all of the content that you're going to be getting, which again will be a new episode, 2 new patrols, 1 TFO. Then you're going to be getting the Safe Galaxy Lockbox and the compiler, which will be the reward from this year's anniversary event. Now, I do have videos going over the compiler in a bit more detail, the World Razor, I also have a breakdown video for, and the other thing that's going to be relevant from the Safe Galaxy Lockbox is the Watcher Bridge Officers. So if you want to check out any of the videos that I have going over those topics, I'll include links to them down below. The compiler video also has a breakdown on how to progress through the anniversary event. The only thing that you have to change when recognize when watching this video. Actually, no, I did predict it. Okay, so the guess that I had in this video ended up being exactly correct for the console anniversary date from March 14th through April 13th, which is perfectly aligned with what we see in the new blog here. So if you're curious about the compiler, the World Razor, or the Watcher Bridge Officers, go check out the 3 videos that I'll link down below. And moving on to the PC side of things here, a reminder that we currently have a Red Alert event active that started on March 9th and ends on March 16th. If you play it for 5 days out of the week that it's up, you can earn an ultimate tech upgrade and a specialization point. So pretty easy to do. I always recommend Tholian or Borg Red Alerts, just really quick to do. And the other event that we currently have active on PC is a double experience event. This will also be running from the 9th through the 16th. So if you have any characters that you're trying to level up, or you're trying to get some specialization points on a character, now would be a very good time to go and grind patrols, Admiralty, or spam a ton of those research assignments to take advantage and get your characters leveled up very, very quickly. And now let's take a look at the PC patch notes from March 8th. The first line item here is really interesting. So a couple weeks back, the Digitizer Torpedo was nerfed, and what they did is they gave it the same cooldown limitation that Tricobalt style torpedoes have, and what that caused is, well, it basically made the torpedo worthless for a lot of people that were putting it on their builds. So they recognized that change had severely impacted the value of that digitizer torpedo, and they very quickly have went through and changed that to make that torpedo exempt from that cooldown. So it will work like it initially did upon release, and it will not have a super long 15 to 30 second cooldown. So this is a very good change, and I'm very glad to see that they went through and did this. They have also went through and improved the damage from the digital compilation trait, which is off the compiler. From the numbers that I saw on Discord, it looks like this is doing about 3 times the damage that it was doing before, so pretty good buff there. They resolved an issue with the Val address in the C store. They updated the text for the 13th anniversary bundle to reflect that the EV suit and kit module are unlocked in the items tab. So I showed this off on stream when this came out, but if you buy the 13th bundle, you need to go to the items tab in the C store and scroll down and look for the Terran EV suit and kit module. because when you buy the bundle, it will not put those into your inventory initially. It will unlock this item in the items tab that you can then go through and pick up. And you can pick it up repeatedly. I picked it up a few times, and you can go through and give the EV suit to all of your bridge officers if you want. So just make sure to go through and pick that up if that is something you care about and you did buy the 13th bundle. They updated the patrols UI to sort patrols alphabetically. It's always a good change. And the new MUDs bundle apparently has Elite Bridge Officer upgrade tokens shown on the picture instead of T6 ship upgrade coupons. So if you were going to buy the bundle, then just be aware that the picture for it is messed up. And the next thing I want to talk about while we're on the topic of MUDs is that the new MUDs bundle is out. Cryptic had heard a lot of feedback about how we didn't think that this bundle was, worth it money-wise. And they did hear our feedback, but not in a way that any of us are going to care about. They didn't change the price on the choice pack, but they did change the price on the mega pack. Initially, this pack cost as much as any other mega pack, but they did lower the price after the feedback everyone sent to adjust it for it only having 7 items rather than 8. So rather than costing $300 during a sale, it will now only cost you $262. So Cryptic did not really get the message we were all sending there, and I still continue to recommend that you just completely avoid buying this Forged Alliance or Khitomer Alliance bundle anytime soon. The price is simply too high on it for these ships having been event ships. Now, the rest of the MUD store is on a brief 75% off sale, so if you have anything you're looking to pick up, I would recommend you go through and take a look. So the bundles, only the new bundle is 50% off, and then all of the space items, the ground items, and the individual ships are 75% off for the next 2.5 days. So go through and pick up any of these non-bundle MUDs items that you've been looking at, because this is as good of a sale as we ever get on these things anymore. And next up, for those of us on PC, we have the second event in the year-long event campaign, and this one's going to be the Voth Invictus event. So this will be starting up on March 16th and running through April 6th. To earn your daily progress, you'll be able to go through and do the Breach TFO once a day, Storming the Spire once a day, or they are now going to allow you to earn progression by helping control one area of the map in the Voth Ground Battle Zone. So if you're someone that likes the battle zone, I imagine you're going to see quite a bit of a boost in activity there once this event goes live. And it's nice to see Cryptic experimenting with other ways to allow us to earn progression in these events. Now, for the specific rewards from this event, if you participate for 14 out of the 21 days, you will be able to earn a Voth exosuit account-wide, 25,000 lithium ore, and 3 featured TFO reward boxes. And of course, if you continue to play after those 14 days, you will earn some additional dilithium. Now, the Voth exosuit tier that you get from the event is a kit module, and when you activate it, it will turn your character into the Voth mech suit. Now, the issue that this is probably going to have is that when Kale was showing it off on stream, the damage numbers it was doing was quite low. It strips you of most of your, well, it actually takes away all of your other kit modules basically while you're in this, and you can't really boost it up too much, it looks like. So we'll have to see how it performs, but when Kale was showing it off on stream, the damage numbers that it was doing with its really long cooldown shots here was really quite poor. So hopefully when we have this in player hands, it performs a bit better. But when Kale showed it off the other day, it looked like it's something that's going to be fun, but it doesn't look like it really does too much damage, and it cannot be activated in social zones. Now, this is part of the event campaign, so if you participate in this event, you can earn 50 event campaign progress per day. Now, a lot of people will generally only play these events for the 14 days required to earn the specific reward from that event. But I do want to remind you that you can continue to play the events after the 14 days, and you can continue to earn 50 progress a day in addition to that dilithium that you get for playing after you completed the event. So, like with the Good Day to Die event, many of you probably only have 700 progress, but if you had continued to play every single day after you completed it, you could have earned an additional 350 plus campaign progress. So in my case, I went through and I continued to play it every single day that the event was active, and I finished the first event with 1100 campaign progress done. So just keep that in mind and remember to continue progressing and participating in these events after the 14 days if you want to get through the event campaign a little bit faster. And now I want to follow up on the Texas stat breakdown video that I did the other day. Since then, Cryptic has done a 10 forward stream where they showed off the items on it, the experimental weapon, the console, and the trait. The trait had a lot of interest from people, but now that we have the numbers, it's not really that impressive. So it gives you 10% Cat 2 bonus damage with energy weapons for having it slotted, and then you can get an additional 20% damage boost for energy weapons, Cat 2, if you are between 2 to 7 kilometers away from your foes. So it's not a terrible trait, but for a lockbox trait, it's just not really good enough in my opinion. And like if this was a C-store trait, this would be a good budget option, but once you're at the level where you can afford these types of lockbox ships, this buff isn't really big enough in my opinion. Now the experimental weapon on this is basically just a copy of the console. It's basically one charge of the console. So the console here I went over the other day, but we now have the passives for it, and this has passives for 31.2 kinetic and beam damage on it. That's actually a pretty good passive if you fly either of those builds. And then 16.3% hull capacity. So the passives on the console are honestly pretty solid. And the clicky here does look really immersive. However, both the torpedoes that fire from the console and the experimental weapon are incredibly slow. You can buff their speed with things like Swarmer Matrix, the Hydra console, and one of the Torp rep traits, but just look how slow it takes for the Torp to fly over the course of like 10 seconds to a target 5 kilometers away. Like, look at how slow that is. So the console also looks really fun. Like if you have all the charges built up, it'll spam a ton of those torpedoes. Now, there was some thoughts about this console potentially replacing immolating phaser lance on torp builds, and those hopes have been pretty much ruined because the cooldown on the console to rebuild another charge is 20 seconds. So unfortunately, I think the value of the ship has probably went down for a lot of people. The trait, like I said, if this was a C-store ship, that would be an easy trait to recommend at a budget level. But on a premium lockbox ship that's going to cost you like $100 to get, that's not really worth it in my opinion. The console and experimental weapon might be fun on some Torp themed builds, but we'll have to wait and see how they perform. Again, I will be doing a live stream on Thursday, March 16th for any of you that want to see how this all performs live. And I want to give a bit of an update on the DilEx. So the PC to lithium exchange has been going back and forth between there being a backlog and then there being no backlog. When I started recording this news video, the backlog was there, but it was just a very small amount of Zen. And now the backlog has once again disappeared, and there's about $100 worth of Zen available to instantly purchase. So I think we're going to continue seeing this go back and forth for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, we had an increase in Zen demand right after the backlog disappeared. We've got that mud sale going on that is increasing Zen demand, and there's a new lockbox ship incoming next week. So Hopefully we can get some actual dilithium sinks at some point from Cryptic, though they are not moving very fast on those ideas. And even some like dilithium related events like a Phoenix event or Vandy Shield event would really help to stabilize this and give us a bit of a buffer from the backlog returning again. So until Cryptic does any of that, just expect the backlog to continue appearing and then disappearing back and forth. If you sold your Zen the other day and you're worried about not being able to get it back quickly, just post your dilithium back up and just sit on the Zen. Like the way the market is right now, it's just going to continue bouncing back and forth. And if it's stressing you out, having your assets sitting there in dilithium rather than Zen, then just sell your dilithium back to Zen and call it a day, because this is going to be like this probably for a little bit until we have something increasing dilithium demand. And that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for the continued support. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. See you guys around.